So dear students, welcome to IS 221 ICT Research Methods. It's a course that is taken by all second year students here in the College of Informatics and Virtual Education. I'm going to give you a quick introduction of what the course is all about and what you're going to achieve by the end of this semester. But then let's look into why you should be able to take this course. You know, you are having a final year project coming up towards the end of your third year. So you need to have some basic of research of how you do your course. So this course will prepare you to get started with your final year project. But again, when you speak about research, it helps you be able to solve a number of real world problems. You get the basics of how you do research, but at the same time, you know how to solve a number of problems that you might meet using the research concepts. And of course, as you do that, you also develop some research, some critical thinking skills that might be really very helpful for you to be able to navigate as you take up your courses. And of course, you also learn a lot of other skills that might be relevant to you that will help you be able to excel in this digital world. And taking this course will also prepare you as a postgraduate student. It gives you be able to prepare for your master's and PhD students as well, because you will be able to you'll be able to understand some of the key issues that you focus on when you do research. And of course, it also strengthens you with the academic writing skills. You get to know how to write reports, how to write research, and how you present your research ideas in front of the audience. And of course, you also build confidence to present your ideas, because in the end, you know how to present your data, and therefore it gives you the courage to be able to push forward and present all your details as much as you can. And you also get a chance to be able to prepare for many other opportunities that might come your way. So it's important for you to take up this research method course that will guide you to be able to prepare yourself for the entire course. Okay, so let's now discuss about our learning objectives or learning outcomes. By the end of this course, by the end of the 15 weeks that we'll be taking up this course, you are going to learn a lot of skills that is in the process. So first of all, you'll be able to define what's research and what research entails, the components and what you are supposed to do. But you'll also be able to understand the various methods of research, how you have to do research, what stages you have to go through, and what tools you need to do in that research. You also need to familiarize or formulate different research methods and methodologies that are relevant for you. We speak about qualitative methodologies, quantitative methodologies. You speak about design-based research methodologies, design science. So many of the methodologies that you need for your work will be discussed in this. But again, we speak about other methods. We speak about other techniques that will be able to help you be able to navigate your research well. And you also will be able to look into how you do sampling, the population you take into your samples, and of course the sampling techniques and procedures that you focus on. In this course, you're also going to learn a lot of other concepts like how you have to handle issues in research, and of course looking into a number of techniques like data analysis techniques, data collection techniques, and many other aspects like report writing and other aspects of the course. Let's now look into a little bit of the research, the outline, the course content that we'll be focusing on. First of all, we focus on the introduction to research. That will be covering the basic ideas of what research is, focusing on definition, the types of research, looking into the process of doing research, and of course the design process of the research concepts as well. We also focus on writing research. We also look into writing research proposals, writing the introduction chapter of your document, where you look into the aspects that are coming to the introduction, maybe the problem statement, research objectives, and many aspects. We again look into the literature review that will be guiding you on how to look into the problems, research problems, and focus on the ideas, how we do it. And then we look into the research methodologies, focusing on qualitative methods and quantitative methods, mixed methods, and many other methodologies that we think will be relevant for you. And after that, we look into the data collection. We look into the data collection methods, looking into a number of tools that we need to use when you collect data, and that will be really helpful for you to be able to go forward. And then we look into simulation as one part of the research, how we do the simulations, what tools we use for running the simulations, and what kind of data we collect with simulations as well. And we then look into qualitative research methodologies and how qualitative research methodology is going to work. What are the procedures? What are the steps you have to go through? What entails qualitative research? All those aspects will be covered in this section as well. And then we look into a number of methodologies in the area of informatics. We're not focusing on social sciences or education, but we're focusing on informatics. Now, what are the kind of research methodologies or strategies that we need to use when we speak about informatics? This will also come into perspective. And towards the end, we have what you call the report writing, that will involve putting all the things together and ensuring learning and everything works in line. Now here is the teaching flow. We start with the introduction to research methods, and then we look into the report writing strategy, and then we do the literature review. And of course, we look into the number of methodologies: qualitative, quantitative, mixed, design science research. And finally, we look into the data collection methods. And before coming to the end, where we speak about data collection methods, analysis, report writing, and all those aspects of the research work. So that is basically the outline. Now, let's look into the mode of delivery. How are we going to deliver this course? So the course will be delivered in two ways: the face-to-face mode, and also we have some aspects that will be covered online. So it's a blended course. Blended in the sense we have some face-to-face sessions, and we also have some online sessions that will be covering. So the face-to-face sessions will be covered in classrooms, the normal classrooms, and the timetable will be given. And we also look into the blended part, which will be covering a number of aspects, looking into how we do it in the online space. So we might be using Google Meet as a platform for online meetings, and Zoom in some cases wherever possible. But we'll be posting some resources online in our Moodle UDOM LMS, where we put all the resources and the course structure in there, where you will need to go and work from the online environment as well to get that experience and explore the features of the course. Now we will have, since we have this blended blended sessions where we do it online, you might be needed to ensure that you are participating as well effectively. So you might be working alone. When you are sitting alone, maybe you are using your smartphone or your tablet alone, this will be the setup. So it helps you be able to use your smartphone or your tablet alone. But if you are in a place where you are many, it would be advisable to use, maybe to team up into 2 or 3 people working together and following up a session. Why? Because it becomes much more easier to talk, to discuss, and to share while you are in a group than when you're working alone. And of course, you might have a group setting as well, where you have 2 or 3 people sitting together and then discussing more about the topic. And of course, when you sit together here, it helps you save the cost of the internet, because only one device will be used at one time, and there will be no echo, no reflections from the same room for the people using the same device. Now, let's look about assessment. We have a number of assessment strategies that we are putting in place. So first of all, we have a class test, which will be common to everyone. You have to do it. It could be 1 or 2. We see how we move forward. But we also have individual submissions that will be covering a number of aspects of the research methods class. And finally, we have a number of quizzes to ensure that you are revising or working on the concepts. The quizzes will be there. So the coursework could be 50% in total, 40% total, and then the university examination will take 60%, which implies therefore the total mark for this will be 100. All right, so let's look into what you need. You need a number of tools to be able to work. So here you need a laptop, for example, to ensure that you're participating in sessions. You also need a mobile phone or a tablet in case you don't have a laptop. But then you need to have an email, a Gmail address that will be used when we submit individual activities. And of course, you will have access to UDOM Learning Management System. So you ensure that you have all this in perspective. And so the general rules is that you will have to, as part of general rules, you will have to be active, participate in the classes as usual, engage in activities that will be helping you to be able to learn. But of course, you be punctual, ensure that you are joining the class immediately on time. Do not join the class when it's already too late, because it will be a disturbance to others. And ensure that you also participate in main activities. Prepare yourself for the class, attend all the sessions to ensure you have connectivity and you maintain connectivity for all the sessions. Now, these are the reference books that you